What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Ill Will here again today with another video. This video, you can tell by the title what it is now, but this video is why I have been away from the channel for the past couple of weeks, months, or whatever you want to call it. I've been, working up on some fire. You finna see. So yeah. I've always been into fashion and gaming and all the stuff that you see on this channel already or have seen or will see if you're new. Hopefully you got some new people coming to check it out, see what's going on. I've always been in fashion. I got all type of stuff like that on my channel already. So, and I also have people in my family who have their own lives and they all doing their own thing. So I was like, you know what? It's been a dream of mine to do this as well. So I might as well go ahead and do it. So I did it. I started my own brand. The brand name is Anxyous. ANXYOUS. I'll throw it up on the screen or whatever, and I'm going to throw my Instagram too down there, so if you want to follow and you can see some of the merch. I'm also going to throw some pictures up here on the screen as well, show you what I'm rocking with. I'm actually getting ready to work on something new right now as I'm making this video. You probably can't hear it, but the machines are humming back at me. I do all my work myself and all that good stuff with the help of my brother-in-law and my real brother. He helped me with some other stuff, stuff like that. But it's my ideas, my designs, and all of it. And a little bit about the brand if you're interested. I do have anxiety. I was never truly diagnosed. It was a self-diagnosis that turned into, all of that. I was on medication for all of that and all of that good stuff. It started back in like 2017, I would say. I would have night terrors, they call them, when you wake up in the middle of the night, and your heart's racing and all of that crazy stuff. That's how it all started. And I used to joke around with my family, be like, just random, I'd be like, yo, I think I got anxiety, haha, laugh it off and stuff like that. Until one day, I just started losing feeling in my right arm. It was like hurting a little bit or whatever, but I also started losing feeling in my right arm. What was in my left? I don't remember. One of my arms and my legs. It was when I was in Vegas actually, but I wasn't living here. I was staying with my sister and her husband and my nephew. So I was staying with them for a couple of months, and I was about to go home back to Chicago on the night that this happened. So I had a real early flight in the morning, about 1 or 2 in the morning, so I stayed up all night. I didn't go to sleep, but I started to get a little tired, so I decided to lay on the couch or whatever, get a quick snooze in like 5-10 minutes. As I'm getting ready to lay down, I start feeling that pain on one of my arms. I forgot, I think it was the right, and in my leg. So I lay on it, try to think like maybe it's about to fall asleep or something. I don't know why I wouldn't, stuff like that. So I started to lay on it, try to get some pressure on it, start moving it, and I started shaking it and all of that crazy stuff. And I just felt a hard pulse in there. It was a weird feeling. So I didn't think nothing of it. And I also had like a sharp pain in my chest on the side of my heart. And I felt that earlier that day. I knew I was going home. I think it had something to do with it because I wasn't ready to go back home. But at this time I didn't know what it was or what I was going through. But I had pain in my heart that whole day. Didn't think nothing of it, didn't tell anybody. So I get home on my flight or whatever. I feel the pain in my chest the whole entire flight. The pain in my arm went away, stuff like that. So I thought I was cool. I thought I was just having sharp pains in my chest for some reason, maybe something I ate or something, because I've been getting that for years, like even before I started having the night terrors and all of that stuff. So I thought it was nothing. I didn't think nothing of it. So the very same day that I got off of the plane and back to Chicago, my mom and her now ex-husband again, they were house hunting because we were getting ready to move. I was getting ready to move in with them. We were moving to Indiana at the time, so we were house hunting in Indiana, and they was going through, it was a brand new house, it wasn't even finished being built yet. So I went towards back some of the construction area so I could be by myself, so I can get a breather in. I took a breath, I started pushing on my heart. Sometimes that'd help. I thought like maybe I just needed some air. I walked around, walked outside, and I still feel the pressure in my heart and pain in my arm started to come back. So I walked around a little bit by myself and just started breathing because that always helps. It helps to do that.
I just like this.
Even still talking about it makes me feel strange or whatever, like bring some of those feelings back, some of the very same feelings. So this brand means a lot to me, the name, all of that good stuff. But yeah, so that happened. I went through the day, spent 3 days with that pain in my heart. Couldn't even sleep until one day I woke up in the middle of the night and I told my mom, I was like, Mom, you think we could go to the hospital? She told me I couldn't because I was on my dad's medical insurance or whatever. Not trying to get too much into the family details and stuff like that. I was on my dad's medical insurance, so I couldn't go unless he was around. He lived in the city, so I couldn't go to the doctor without him. So she told me to call my dad. I called my dad. I was like, yo, Dad, can we go to the hospital soon? He asked me why, and I get to tell him what's going on, and my dad gets very excited. I think my dad has anxiety too. Not the same kind, but I think I get it from him. But yeah, he gets all excited and all of this. He's like, okay, I'll take you when I can, but it can't be today. I was like, oh man, I think I have to go now. So then my heart starts racing while I'm on the phone.
Like
going crazy. I was like, Mom, come here, feel my heart. She puts her hand on my heart and it's beating like insanely fast. Like I've never felt anything like this, except for that time when I smoked that bone. That's exactly how my body felt. I wasn't high or anything, but my body felt the exact same way that it did when I had that ball accident. That's another story time that I'll probably link in this video. But yeah, that's how it felt. It's a similar experience, just I wasn't high or anything. So my mom snatched the phone out of my hand, like blah blah blah. Yeah, he really needs to go to the hospital, like right now. His heart is beating out of this world. So he's like, all right, I'm on my way. We went to the hospital down the street. Well, it wasn't down the street from my house, but it was pretty close. It was actually a hospital that I was born at, crazy enough. And my dad meets us there. They give me an ECG, which is a heart test or whatever, to make sure I wasn't having a stroke or anything, because that's a lot of the times the symptoms that I get is usually in my heart. And it feels like you're having a heart attack. So they gave me the ECG to make sure I wasn't having a stroke or heart attack, one of those two. And
I just like the sound of it.
Sat there, waited on those results. My heart's still beating out this world, especially now because I don't like going to the doctor, especially in the emergency room. I've been to the emergency room when I was younger, but I don't remember that. My mom told me about a story where I dehydrated or whatever. But in recent years of memory, this is the only time I've ever been to the emergency room. So most people, when they get to the doctor, it's usually not a good thing why you get to the doctor unless it's a checkup or something. It wasn't a checkup. Well, it wasn't the doctor, it was a hospital. So yeah, there's a difference. My heart's beating even worse now because I'm in the hospital. I'm scared. I don't know what they about to give me shots. They about to keep me for the night or whatever, because I did not want to stay there. I wanted to make sure I knew what was going on with myself and make sure I can go home too. So that was that. We sit there. They give me my results back. They say I'm fine. I'm not in risk of a stroke or heart attack or anything like that. So then they take me back to a room. They give me, take my blood. They give me a questionnaire to fill out to make sure that they asked me if I smoked. And at that time, my mom didn't know until that day. That was the day that she found out that I smoked. I had no choice to tell her. I had no choice but to tell her at that time. But yeah, so it turns out that I had a panic attack. That was my first panic attack. I haven't had any of that multitude since then or before that, so I've been good on that regard. But I do have like many ones throughout the day, or mostly at night. Most of this happens during the night. I'm usually fine during the day, but when I get alone thinking by myself or whatever and it's dark, that's usually when it comes on me. So yeah, I had a panic attack. I went back to the doctor like 3 times after that for different stuff. They gave me something to wear on my heart, and it recorded my heart rhythm all day, because they said I could have had a heart valve problem. Or like, and they said it could have been a whole bunch of stuff. Anxiety is nothing to play with. It could mean a lot of different things for different people, because there's different type of anxiety. There's anxiety like You get anxious being around other people. I don't have that. Mine, yeah, I forgot what mine's called, but yeah. So that's how it all happened. I'm fine now to a degree. Like I have relapses every now and then. Like this was in 2018. This all happened, but well, I just like to say, yeah, this is in 2018 when it happened, and I started the brand. Like, okay, I started creating, designing, and stuff around that time because it was a very dark time. 2018 was by far the worst year of my life because it was all I was dealing with that the entire time. 2018 was a terrible year. It was a year that I moved back in with my mom and her ex-husband. It just wasn't a fun time for me. I was in a dark place and stuff like that. The house I was living in just didn't feel like a home. It was crazy. So when I was bored or whatever, I would just sit down and design, some of these clothes and things that I come up with. And I never put it into play until last month. I just started creating it last month. I dropped my first shirt on Instagram and through my friends and family and stuff like that. So I've been ready to put this in play for over 2 years now. Just didn't have the guts to ever do it because, like I said, through this time I've had family members and friends that start calling brands and stuff, and I don't want to feel like I was copying them. I don't ever like to feel like I'm stealing somebody's idea and copying. I like to be myself and do me, but I feel like it was a good thing to do because it was something I wanted to do for a long time. So I finally did it. But back then, now I create on Photoshop and I do everything by myself. Back then, those designs I was doing on custom.com, not a sponsor. And that is very, very dumb of you to do that. If you do start a clothing line, do not go to them. You can do way more, way better for cheaper in the long run anyway. If you do it all yourself, you just got to get the proper machines and all that stuff. So yeah, that's what it is. That's what happens. That's why I've been going, all of that good stuff. I'm gonna link my Instagram, my personal Instagram, and the Anxyous Instagram down below. I am also in the process of creating a site, so you can go and buy on the website if you want to, but that won't be for at least another week or two, depending on when I can get everything set up. Yeah, man. So that's what's been going on. I'm trying to get back on the YouTube grind as well. I'm doing big things, man. I'm trying to level up. I'm not gonna let this anxiety, the anxiousness, I'm not gonna let it take over me. We're gonna be killing. We trying to do it big, man. It's time to grow up. So if you with me, leave a slat in the comment section. Leave something in the comment section. I just like the sound. That's all I got. I'm out.